Yo, what is good people? Ben from Another Tech, and we are back with another camera comparison, this time Z Flip 4 versus the Galaxy S22. Now in the UK, the Z Flip 4 is seeing a £50 increase in the base price. It's $999 UK, but in the US it's still $999, so the price balance is near enough pretty much the same. But can it compete versus the S22 Plus and S22, which range between £769 all the way up to £949? With the improvements to the camera and the new Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset, let's see how the Z Flip 4 holds up. Photos, videos, daylight and low light, we're going to get into it. A quick breakdown of the camera hardware on both these phones, starting with the Z Flip 4. It is using two 12 megapixel sensors at the back for the ultra wide and the wide, and a 10 megapixel selfie for the inner display. Moving over to the S22, it does have a triple camera setup with a 12 megapixel ultra wide, a 50 megapixel main sensor, and a 10 megapixel 3x dedicated zoom, and a 10 megapixel selfie. Now, just a reminder that the best way to watch this camera comparison is with headphones on the largest display possible at the highest resolution in 4K. With that out of the way, let's get back into the main camera comparison. So we're starting off with the selfie camera, 4K 60 frames a second, seeing how the image quality, stabilization, and also the dynamic range is like. Quite an overcast day, but let's see how it goes. Quick run. So we are in 4K 30 frames a second, and again, pretty much testing out the image quality, stabilization, and how the dynamic range is like. Quick run. We're now in portrait video mode on the selfie camera, limited to 1080p 30 frames a second, and we should have stabilization on both compared to the previous S21, but with a slight crop in the field of view. So we are now in 4K 30 frames a second on the rear main cameras, seeing how the image stabilization, video quality, and dynamic range is like. Quick run. Again, while continuously recording, you can switch to the ultra wide. Quick run. Right, this is the advantage of the S22 here. You've got a 3x optical zoom. And this is effectively a 3x digital zoom on the Z Flip 4. Back to the main. Back to the main. While still recording, you can still flip to the selfie. You can pause and take pictures at the same time. Same experience. So we've switched over to 4K UHD 60 frames a second on the main rear cameras. Same again. Quick run. Now we've switched over to the ultra wide on the Galaxy S22 in 4K UHD 60 frames a second. This is the advantage that the S22 has over the Flip 4. At the time of this recording, the 18th of August 2022, Thursday, 11:15 AM UK time, we do not have 4K UHD 60 frames a second on the ultra wide. We are in 4K 30 frames a second on the main sensors, just to see how it behaves when there's a subject in the frame. Now we've switched to the ultra wide angle lens, seeing how it behaves in terms of the image quality. We've switched to 4K UHD 60 frames per second now, seeing how the image quality behaves with a subject in frame. We are now in the video portrait mode on the main camera lenses on the rear. So we're on the rear facing camera, 4K 30 frames a second on the Z Flip 4 as well as the S22. Switch it ultra wide. Now we are in the selfie video recording mode on both the Z Flip 4 as well as the S22 in 4K 30 frames a second. Let's start things off with the daytime photos. Firstly, looking at the landscape shots. Although the ultra wide on the Flip 4 has slightly more field of view and a more vibrant image, trying to also up the shadows, the S22 is overall sharper and more detailed for a better balanced image. Things carry over to be the same when moving to the main wide sensors, with the S22 having overall better detail and a balanced image. Things move over to be more in favor of the S22 when moving over to the 3x zoom and the extended 10x and 30x zoom, as the Flip 4 does not have a dedicated zoom lens, meaning it is limited to digital zoom only on the main sensor up to 10x. These last set of landscape shots further verify the findings from previous, as the Flip 4 is more vibrant overall while lifting the shadows for better visibility, which you can notice by the benches on the far left, especially on the ultra wide lens, but at the cost of a softer and less detailed image, which the S22 produces better results here. The zoom performance is further proven to be in favor of the S22 thanks to the dedicated 3x optical zoom. As much as both produce great selfies just by a small amount thanks to the better overall colors, I prefer the look of the S22 even when moving over into the portrait mode. These last set of daylight photos with the rear cameras with me as a subject, we are seeing a consistent trend with the Flip 4 having a more vibrant image overall, while the S22 keeps a more balanced, sharper and more detailed image. Portrait mode is excellent on both, with great edge detection even in the gaps around where my hands are in my pocket, but the S22 does have the option of a 3x zoom portrait mode thanks to the dedicated zoom lens. Let's move over to the nighttime images, and as much as both struggle in low light on the ultra wide without using night mode, the S22 does have the better image compared to the Flip 4. When moving over to the main wide sensor, I actually prefer the overall image on the Z Flip 4, which produces a cleaner image with less color shift. Oddly enough, when zooming in at 3x, the Flip 4 produces a slightly cleaner image. Now, in this extreme low light situation, the ultra wide performance is basically non-existent on both phones. The main wide sensors fare a little bit better, with the S22 having a slightly brighter image. Night mode is the difference maker, especially on the main wide sensor, with the Flip 4 producing a brighter and slightly cleaner image. For low light selfies, I captured without night mode, with night mode, and then with the front screen flash, and then replicated and did the same for portrait mode as well. So take a look at the results and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Last set of low light images with the rear cameras with me as the subject both struggle on the ultra wide, with the S22 producing a slightly better image but not really a difference maker to even consider. The results on the wide sensor look pretty much the same, with maybe a slight detail edge to the S22. Night mode of course is the difference maker even on the ultra wide, and also when moving to the wide and using portrait mode as well, with the S22 winning by a slight margin by having better detail overall. Let's conclude by summarizing the video performance, and with the selfie,
Although both phones shoot the same resolutions and frame rates up to 4K 60 frames a second, you can definitely see the Flip 4 has a slight advantage in the video stabilization, but overall, the better, more accurate and consistent colors on the S22 is much preferred. This translates to the same results when moving to the rear cameras with better overall detail on the S22, and also with the ability to shoot in 4K 60 frames a second on the ultra wide, which is not available on the Z Flip 4. The stabilization improvements on the Flip 4 may seem minor, but are very much noticeable when even moving to the extended zoom range on video. For nighttime video, I highly recommend you stick to the main wide sensor for the best results. Both phones, when on the main wide sensor, look to produce pretty much the same results. For low light selfie on video, the S22 overall has less noise and more consistent colors, but still very soft and muddy when it comes to the image quality. Audio performance with the microphone is nice, loud and clear on both, with maybe a slightly bit more background noise reduction on the S22. That is it for me with this ultimate camera comparison between the Z Flip 4 and the S22. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.